What's up, everybody, and welcome to part 4 of my Muse adventure in Dekaron. If you are new to the series or haven't seen some of the other episodes, I'll put them in the description so you can catch up before watching this one. As I mentioned at the end of the previous episode, I decided to set up my battle support in Space of Pilgrimage. I might have been able to do it in other places, but I had the best survivability here, so this is what I ended up doing, and I did end up getting all the way to level 148. After that, I decided to go and do my Norak runs to see if I had any luck with getting a ring drop. Unfortunately, I just ended up with 2 more earring drops, which I really didn't need, so that was a bit of a bummer, but, I'm just going to keep trying. Now, this was kind of a short day for me. I just got on to do my runs and look at my battle support. I was busy, couldn't do much else. So I did experiment a little bit with trying to do battle support in Deadlands at this point, since I was level 150. I did, however, realize that I was not strong enough to survive here for long periods of time. So I tried it, didn't work out, and I ended up going back to Space of Pilgrimage for battle support overnight. I do also want to point out that during the battle support time, I did use a treasure hunter rune that I got from the Norak dungeon, and I was opening those to get like gems, soul stones, argates, etc. Very useful item and should definitely be utilizing it. Up next, we decided to upgrade my moonlit bracelets. This again was something that I did not realize I had the ability to upgrade. Someone in chat let me know, so we got these upgraded. Now I wanted to upgrade my Mateer's Tear to its final form, so I decided to exchange all my Ghosts, Angers, and Insanities for their whole versions instead of the fragments. I now had enough Ghost Fragments in order to upgrade to my Mateer's Shiny Tears. For those of you who don't know, this accessory is really good early game. It gives you 20% critical damage, which is definitely not something to gloss over. Since I was over level 150, I was also then able to exchange for my free armor tickets. This comes with the level up pack. So I grabbed those, I ran over to Wingo, and then I exchanged the hero armor, which is right here. And this gives you a free 1-3x Divine Noble set, for those of you who don't know. It doesn't show up at Wingo with that in the weapon until I think you're level 150, but once you get that, definitely want to do it. It's a nice boost to your defense and to your damage. I was also able to exchange for a new level 145 weapon. I stuck with the Kalash. This weapon actually ends up being better than the Time Twisted Fate weapon that it gave me, because this weapon I can put brands on and I can put sockets on as well. It was now time to socket and brand my weapon. Now, the biggest issue I ran into with branding was that I didn't have a lot of dill. But as you'll see here, I end up having just enough to get myself 4 sockets in my weapon. I grabbed myself some of the junk 5% that I had from farming. 5% are basically the best I could get right now, so I just threw some random ones into my weapon. 20%, any type of elemental damage, is going to add a decent amount of damage to my weapon. I also took the time to brand my weapon. Now, I didn't have a lot of soul stones, so I ended up getting 28 Spirit, which is better than nothing, but, I'll try to do something better in the future when I have more Soul Stones. Whenever I get a new weapon, I like to see the damage difference from the previous one. So my old weapon hit 26k, and when I switched to my new upgraded weapon, I was hitting 35k. So that's a pretty big jump in my damage. Next up, I opened up my level up pack, which gave me some holy water, a crest costume, some potions, and stuff like that. The most important thing there was the holy water and the crest costume. I don't know where I'm going to get crests yet, but I'm sure I'll need to do it sometime. If you haven't guessed it already, I then decided to do my Norak solo dungeon runs, and I finally got myself a Dervichi's ring. I'd been waiting for that for a long time. For those of you who don't know, it's a level 71 ring, can be upgraded, but it gives some really good stats when you're first starting off. Most notably is 3,000 HP and 15% movement speed, in addition to some attack. So yes, if you're starting off, this is a very important ring to get. It's even nice later just for the movement speed. I then exchanged all of my Angers and Insanities for Seed of Dreams, and I added another upgrade onto my Decaline ring in order to get some more monster damage tolerance. With all of my upgrades, it was time for me to get my revenge on Duix Marble. This time, I flew through the dungeon, and I had a much easier time with him. That being said, it was not free. I still had to be a little bit careful with his AoE attack, and I did almost die a couple times, but I did manage to beat him, complete the dungeon, and complete that quest. I did notice that it looks like he doesn't really drop items anymore, which is a little disappointing. They should really add some drops to this guy. like maybe some crests or some low-level gear or something. But yeah, I mean, at least it's decent experience, and I got this part knocked out. I then completed all of the quests in Doom Maze, and I made my way to the Aquaria Ruins. Now, I have to say, the Doom Maze quests are some of my least favorite, just because some of them are really spread out, but it was nice to have that knocked out, and I was able to continue on. Aquaria Ruins was the exact same story. I finished all the main quests, and then I headed to Space of Pilgrimage. Now, I've already been to Space of Pilgrimage, obviously, because I did my trans quest already, but I still need to go through and do all the main quests here. After questing for a bit in Space of Pilgrimage, I kind of got bored, and I decided to try out the solo dungeon. Now, I knew that I would not be able to beat all of the bosses in Elagos, but I thought I would at least try the first one. And I had to be a little bit careful, but with being careful, I was successful in beating it. It's just a good little test of my character. I took this guy out, and I will definitely be trying the rest of the bosses in the future when I'm stronger. Before heading off for the day, I did figure out that I was now strong enough to AFK in Deadlands. Deadlands, if you guys didn't know, is a really good place. I would say from 150 to probably like 180 or so to set up battle support. You get a lot of materas, and you can get rune triggers, and the experience was buffed fairly recently. It's just overall a good place to do it. So I do decide to set up my character here, and yeah, that is it for that one. I seem to be making pretty good progress on the Muse. I still don't love how the character feels, but early on it's kind of hard to decide that, until you start getting like all your trans skills and your meisters and really learning a character. They don't always feel the greatest, so I'm remaining optimistic that I still may end up enjoying the character. But yeah, any questions or suggestions, as always, you guys can leave them in the comments, and until next time, take care.